I shit magazines out, literally.
I can't pick this up.
Plop!
Now, who's responsible? I say, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
Hey guys, it's Skippy, your boy, back with another video on the current state of 3.16 and the game. Now, a few things have happened that are quite funny since the last video, and I do acknowledge that the video went out of date pretty much the moment I uploaded it. Thank you, CIG. But presents have been nerfed since my last video. On the surface, this is pretty funny, and the memes coming out about CIG being the Grinch are hilarious. If you haven't checked them out, go to Reddit, check out some of the memes that are coming out. You know, that CIG stole Christmas and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of funny. But on the deeper dive into it, it's kind of concerning. So I've started seeing a trend with a lot of things with CIG. You know, when things become a bit profitable, they'll nerf it. I don't understand why CIG kind of made their own self-goal with this. There was no real reason to nerf presents. I mean, it allowed players that had just started the game, especially since we've had a massive influx since IAE, to be able to get ahead and get to the next stage of gameplay. You know, either get that prospector to go mining, or get that fighter to start doing the bounty hunting, or just like move on to the next stage of the game and play elements of the game in which they want to play. A lot of these guys have probably started off with an Aurora or something else that isn't kind of that good, and they've been able to get out and play the game that they want to play. By nerfing this, you've now restricted a lot of people from doing that, and I don't understand why that is, because this is a limited time thing. I think it's really, really good to have, you know, limited time things like this in the game, where if you play over Christmas a lot, then you're going to get ahead, and it just makes people want to play the game even more to get ahead. So it seems like you're only chopping yourself off at the knees by making it harder to do this. And I'm starting to see a certain trend with CIG that they're trying to make the grind too hard. I mean, there's a point where you start to make the game so hard to play and so grindy to play that people don't actually end up playing the game. They just end up playing certain aspects of the game to try and get ahead. And I mean, if you guys all honestly look back at, you know, your time in 3.15 and what you guys have actually done during 3.15, I guarantee the majority of that is just making money. You haven't done anything player driven. I actually think the player driven aspect of the game is pretty much as barren as the dry sea. There has been no player driven content lately because everyone is trying to make money and we can't give out prizes. I mean, being a leader of one of the orgs out there, we're really struggling with trying to, you know, start player-driven content because no one has any money. And even my members who have tried to give me money, which I don't like doing, I like to earn it myself and then give it out to the members. But we can't, you know, fund some of these races and some of the activities that we want to do because the game is really restrictive in that sense. So the thing that concerns me with that is, you know, I'm not new to games that are really, really grindy in the way that you get through the ranks, or, you know, you level up essentially. I mean, I used to play War Thunder a lot. I'm actually used to be a really, you know, good War Thunder streamer, and I actually left War Thunder not so much for the grind, but what came because of the grind. Now, you know, we're seeing a certain trend in a lot of games. I mean, we're seeing this with, you know, a lot of AAA games lately. When you make the grind so hard, or you make it so cash grabby or pay to win, you know, people that, you know, either don't have the money to do that, they're going to just resort to cheating. And we've seen that with a lot of, I mean, you know, Call of Duty has seen a massive, you know, player base drain since this has started. Battlefield as well, you know, minus the bugs that have been going on. You know, we've also seen people just straight away from the get-go start cheating. You know, even in a beta they were cheating. So, and then, you know, War Thunder was no exception to that. We had a massive influx of cheaters to the point where it's, you know, becoming unplayable at the top tiers because people don't want to, you know, grind all the way there. It's just way too hard. And what you do by that is you kind of drain the player base that actually would love your game. These people that are cheating aren't going to love your game. They're not the people that, you know, are going to invest a lot of time into the game. They're the people that just want to get from A to B really quickly and play all aspects of the game and then toss the game into the bin. That's what those player bases are. You know, the ones that cheat, that's all they want to do is they want to play all that sort of, you know, gameplay. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of streamers out there. We've seen this with Tarkov as well. There's been a massive train from Tarkov. Tarkov is probably one of the worst offenders for cheating in the gaming industry. And we've seen a player base drain from them as well. Every time you make the grind so hard to get ahead, you know, you see the first thing that comes in is people cheat because they just can't be bothered to do the gameplay that's required to get to that stage because it's just way too much time. And a lot of people these days are time poor. I can understand that. And then the next thing that happens is just you have a massive player base drain because that's just what goes on. People aren't going to play a game where they're just getting stomped on all the time, or they can't even get ahead because there's a whole lot of people that are just jumping the queue. I mean, why would you play that when you're a legitimate player and just getting stomped on and getting everyone that jumps ahead of you? So, and unlike, you know, StarCitizen, a lot of these other games are just server-based games that, you know, you play on one server for one match at one time. And like a lot of you guys have probably seen on my stream, I've already got a pretty much a solid fix for that. And these, you know, game developers don't implement that. It's such an easy fix for server-based games to stop cheating, which is just simply don't ban the cheaters, because that's clearly not working. And that's not where the money lies. Where the money lies is with the cheat developers. You know, if you make it so unprofitable for the cheat developers to make money developing cheats, they're gonna stop. So don't ban the cheaters, just put them on their own server. All the cheaters go on their own server. Once they get flagged, they don't get told they're a cheater, they just get put on a server. They don't see that their cheats are not working. They think their cheats are continuing to work, so they stop, you know, buying new cheats because they're like, oh shit, this cheat works really well and I'm not going to buy another cheat because I'm not being banned for this cheat, so I'm just going to continue using this cheat. The cheat developers no longer get their money, they don't develop the cheats, and then cheating stops in that game. It's quite simple to stop that. Which kind of leads me to thinking that a lot of these other games are either, you know, game developers are either that stupid that they can't think of that to solve the cheating in their game, or they just don't care. But with StarCitizen, it's the opposite. Because we're not talking about just one instance, one server. At the moment it is, but we're going to go into, you know, server meshing, where it's a whole lot of servers, you know, run by Amazon. A whole lot of servers playing one instance of the game. We can't do that. It's not going to be cost effective for CIG to run an entire other instance of this universe just to service cheaters. So my concern is if CIG continues going down this path of, you know, making the grind too hard, and then people are just going to naturally want to, you know, because that's what society is these days, and I don't know, they got too many participation awards when they were young, and they just want to jump the queue. We're going to see an influx of cheaters, and people are just going to want to leave the game and not want to play, because, you know, why would you want to play a game that takes you forever to be able to do player-driven content or do what you like to do? And there is an abundance of player-driven content out there, but at the moment it's restricted because no one can make enough money to be able to buy the assets or buy the things that's required to be able to do that player-driven content. And I think it's going to be a long time before we start seeing the same sort of player-driven content that we used to see, you know, back in the day. And I mean, I know for myself and our org, that's what we're all about. We're not about sitting and waiting for CIG to bring things out. We want to do those player-driven content. We want to do things where we lock down bunkers and tell an entire server to come attack us. We want to do ship-to-ship boarding. We want to do, like, I've got a whole Grand Prix lined up for next year where, you know, each we've got a race at nearly every single venue, and then at the end of the year I want to give a cash prize out for those races, and each, you know, I mean, an actual real prize for, you know, winning the Grand Prix. But then each one of those races I want to give out a certain amount of money to be able to get people ahead, but we don't do that. We can't do that at the moment because we can't make the money that's required to be able to support that sort of gameplay and the player-driven content environment. And I think that's really, really hampering a lot of the player base. And I'm just concerned if this kind of continues, that we're going to see a drain of players, or at least people are just going to put down the game until it's put back into a better state. There are so many better ways to go about, you know, balancing the game than just nerfing things. And I think seeing the nerfing of presence kind of started ringing alarm bells in my head. And I hope to God that they don't end up doing the same with mining. If they've got too many players doing one particular thing, it's because it's profitable. It's not because people want to get it, like, well, it is because people want to get ahead, but it's because you're making it too hard to get ahead. So you're driving players to play only one aspect of the game. So if you want all players to, you know, play all different aspects of the game, then stop making it about money. If you make it too much about the grind and about money, people are going to be driven to just what makes the money so they can get ahead. So then they can play the aspect of the game that they want to play. If you make it a level playing field, or, you know, you balance things out, and I hope CIG is going to do this, you know, in the future, is just balance things out and not nerf it. And then have these little events every now and again, like the present making, where people, even though if they play for a certain amount of time, they can get ahead. Do those events. They're really cool events that allow people. I mean, we saw that with Xenothreat. A lot of people made a lot of money during Xenothreat. You know, my concern is, are they going to nerf that now? Is it going to be worth it? You know, they're going to nerf the money at Xenothreat, and then nobody's going to play it because, you know, what's the point in playing that? You know, nobody's going to go pick up the presents now because what's the point? You know, it's a really, really cool gameplay to watch people run around picking up presents, you know, for a limited time. Just make them limited time events, you know, 1-2 week events that, you know, allow players for those 2 weeks to get ahead. And especially for younger players or people that are new to the game, it's a really, really good way to, you know, bolster them ahead so that they can play that gameplay. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I hope you guys can jump into the comments. Tell me what you think. Again, I really love this game. This is not an attack at CIG or, you know, downplaying the game at any stage. You know, I am honestly concerned about the game, and I'm making this video because I love StarCitizen. Absolutely love it. And I'm excited to see where this goes forward, but I'm just concerned that if they follow down this path, that they're going to, you know, land in the same trouble that we've seen with other AAA games. But yeah, I would love to see what your opinions are in the comments. Chuck an opinion down there. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 people. So, you know, if you guys can give us a support, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it around with your mates. But definitely, you know, give us your opinion. I welcome all opinions. Just be, you know, nice about it. You know, don't attack anyone else's opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So definitely jump down in the comments and do that. Go follow us on Twitch, and hopefully I'll go live on Thursday. Actually, sorry, I will go live on Thursday. I was thinking about maybe going live tonight. So give us a follow on Twitch. If you'd like to see more of that, or you'd like to voice your opinion live, definitely jump on that. And give me your thoughts about, you know, the current state of the game and where CIG is heading. Anyway, until the next video, hope you guys are all enjoying your Christmas holidays, and I'll see you on the next one.